Guten Tag from Garmisch Partenkirchen here at the Scotland training camp. Bill Leckie, myself, Robert Grieve. Bill, we've just been at the Scotland first press conference of the tournament. After seeing them train this morning, there was a worrying development at training this morning. Andy Robertson, Lawrence Shankland going off injured, but the good news is they're going to be okay.
Yeah, I get the feeling, Robert, that it's been very wet here. The boys are tired, they've come in, and I think there's a safety first thing. And my feeling, it's a very modern training thing anyway with most clubs. I think if anybody's feeling anything, they go off. And Andy Robertson seemed to be pretty smiley when he re-emerged, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. That was a good news. It was initially you're holding your breath given the things that have happened with the Scotland squad in the last couple of weeks. Lyndon Dykes obviously last week in Glasgow getting injured, but Robertson looked quite relaxed, didn't he? He was kind of laughing and joking after it. He seemed okay.
Yeah, do you know, it's an interesting thing. Last week I was in Portugal obviously with the squad, and Steve talked about that the players wouldn't be human if they weren't nervous after seeing what happened to Dykes. They were very spooked, and they were so relieved to get the friendlies out of the way. But that doesn't mean that things can't happen. For instance, the Czech Republic lost a player yesterday who went out on a bike ride, fell off his bike, gassed his leg. So stupid things can happen. I mean, on Sunday night we saw John McGinn in a video that has now broken the internet, I think, where he did the shoe plattler Bavarian dance. And I'm pretty sure you were talking to John Carver earlier. I'm pretty sure that they were worried that his calf was going to go at some point.
Well, that's the thing. We're all there. We saw it. It was fantastic.
It was brilliant.
It's the typical John, isn't it? We've known him a long time.
Amazing.
He's always been like that. It's what you want to see from your Scotland players, isn't it?
Listen, there's a whole host. We know these boys reasonably well, and there's players there that could have turned round to. I'm not going to name them, but they're going, no, it's not for me. Me, John went, aye, okay. And he went out, and after about 30 seconds he went, no, that'll do me. And they handed him then the hat that you get for doing the dance. And he went, okay, back in again. And he was just, honestly, he won this town in 2 minutes.
I think it's important that they do that, is it? Because we were at the training ground this morning. There was hundreds of kids. It was fantastic to see. The weather thankfully held up for a couple of hours. Is that important that the Scotland squad can get involved with the community and they're seeing it out there?
Well, there's two different things. They decided to have the pre-Euros camp in the Glasgow city centre, right? In the Blytheswood Hotel. They could walk about the city and they could feel the city. Here we're in this alpine setting. We're right at the foot of the highest point in Germany. And it's very secluded. But last night when the whole town basically turned out, it was meant to be in the town square. It was rained off, so they moved it into the Bayernhalle, way out of town, 25 minutes walk from the town centre, and everybody trooped up. And the mayor here, Elizabeth Koch, was so pleased because she'd been told maybe 3-4 players would come, and then they found out, no, the whole squad's going to come. And it just gave the town such a lift. And I think after a day's travelling, and we could see that people were a little bit grumpy about maybe having to go and do this, but once they came, they went, oh, this is fantastic. And John just stole the show.
He wrote this morning, he stole the show. Typical John McGinn. What do you make of the place? I think it's great. We're talking about it there.
Perfect.
But we're about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Munich. A long journey. It's a wee bit like Ave Moore. Pumped up more than Ave Moore. Yeah. But it's a beautiful place, isn't it?
I don't think you can get a more relaxing place to prepare for anything. I mean, I think the first couple of days, you and I have been on a lot of these trips, the first 2 days, from our point of view, I can't talk from the players' point of view, but you're never really relaxed because you're running about getting a lie of the land. We had to go to Munich yesterday to get accreditation. You come back, you're still trying to see where everything is. But today's the first time we've really had a chance to stop and have a little smell of the fresh air, and it really is a beautiful. It's like being in the Sound of Music or Heidi or something. It's quite splendid.
Well, I don't know about that Sound of Music. I've heard Bill sing before. We don't need that.
No, we don't.
But listen, we're gearing up for it, aren't we? We're on Monday here. The game's Friday.
Yeah.
Are we getting that build up? Are you feeling it's getting close? It is getting closer. Can I feel it? When you're speaking to John Carver this afternoon, anticipation's there, isn't it? We're kind of building up towards it.
Yeah, I think when you see the players train and boots on the ground over here, you can start now. We're an hour and a bit out of Munich, so the Tartan Army will be starting to build up over there over the next couple of days, and it'll be a different kind of atmosphere. But there's no doubt over the next day or two, as we speak to players and we speak to coaches, it's going to, actually, you can't get away from the fact. In fact, there was a German journalist came and talked to you there when we were in the media centre, which is just behind it. It's the old Winter Olympics ice rink, which is it's where Scotland are having their media stuff. And German journalists came and talked to you, and you said the only things that you could really say, which were, we're excited, we don't really know what's going to happen, but it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that's it, isn't it?
That's the thing. There's been, Steve Clark spoke last week about the negative Normans, as he put it, and I don't know what he was trying to get. I know there are fans out there, maybe some in the media who maybe are sceptical at how things are going to go, but we feel upbeat, don't we? We're feeling positive about the game. Obviously Germany hosts, going to be a really tough game on Friday afternoon or Friday night, but you never know. This Scotland team play well against the better teams.
Yeah.
I'm certainly optimistic.
Do you know, Robert, it's 26 years ago today since we played Brazil in the opening day of the World Cup in 1998. We all remember what it felt like that day. Now, we lost that day and we ended up going out in the group stages. But the fact is, it's been that long since we've been abroad for a tournament again. So how can we not enjoy the moment? If you come here and say, well, don't see us doing very well, you know, it's a cliche. Managers just, what's the point of turning up?
Yeah. We're certainly excited. I mean, I think you're right as well. Watching them train today, you get a real sense of it. The guys they're taking it slowly because of the injuries that they've seen. You could see that some of the players were taking things kind of gingerly. Yeah. We saw what happened with Andy Robertson, Lauren Shankland as well, both getting off. It was precautionary. You could tell right away it was precautionary, but you can understand these players being a little bit nervous right now.
Absolutely. Who wants to get, I mentioned the Czech Republic guy on his bike, who wants to be the guy who goes in a wee bit? I mean, Lyndon Dykes was injured chasing a ball back in training, nobody near him, and his ankle went. Now these things can happen, and as there's a kind of paradox here, isn't there? Because Steve Clark and Liam Cooper in Portugal last week both said the same thing. When you decide to go 50% at it, that's when you're more likely to get hurt. You've played football, you know that. But at the same time, who wants to get into a 50-50 and put your mate out of the tournament or put yourself out of the tournament? So I'm sure that they're just wishing that it was Friday.
See, I played football. I don't think under 15s amateur football counts, Bill, to be perfectly honest with you. Listen, we've got the weather. We're sitting here outside. Thankfully, this is the first time we've done this, by the way, let me tell you, since coming here. Yeah. We came here on Saturday and it's not stopped raining. It's not. Until about the last 20 minutes, half an hour ago.
Absolutely.
We're delighted about that because I've got shorts with me, which I was beginning to fear I wasn't going to see the light of day. But we want a bit of sunshine,
absolutely.
Don't we?
It's a weird one because for the players training especially, it's really steamy hot. It's 24, 25, 26 degrees. But at any moment, yesterday afternoon it was biblical. It was thunder, lightning, it was sweeping the streets. You couldn't have trained in it yesterday. You know, you don't quite know how to dress because it's... You
never know quite how to dress.
I never know quite how to dress. So I didn't know where to wear my shorts with my duffel coat or what to do. But it was too warm for a coat and it was too wet for t-shirt and shorts. So this is first world problems. But
what was good though, I thought, because we were going to the training this morning, you weren't quite sure what to expect from the pitch. They've obviously got the facilities set up here for the Scotland guys to train, the squad to train. We went this morning, you're kind of wondering if it was going to be a bit like Dens Park with the rate. We've had so much rain. Absolutely. But it wasn't. It was a bowling green, wasn't it? And it was fantastic. I know these you say kind of things that you don't really think about, maybe fans won't think about, but that's important that these guys, that the players turn up. We've had World Cups before, the squads have turned up and it's been diabolical. Yeah. There's no excuses. It was a bowling green out there.
When you look at the detail that Steve Clark, Graham Jones, John Carver, the whole team put into things, this is light years away from Scotland in the days of Argentina in '78. You know, if you go back to the very first World Cup we played in 1954 in Switzerland, the SFA wouldn't buy the players socks and they had to wear their own club socks. So in 1978 we turned up and basically in a prison camp. The guys had a nightmare. Here everything is done for them, everything's prepared. There's a brand new pitch being laid at the stadium am Gruben, just on the other side of town here. The drainage is, as the mayor even told us last night, the drainage is fantastic. So what
does that mean?
No bad.
Not bad.
No bad. German for no bad.
That's your German fee.
So we have given ourselves every chance to prepare perfectly, and then we just have to go and do the difficult bit.
That would have suited you right enough, wouldn't it? No socks.
That would have suited me. I'm not a sock person.
Doesn't wear socks, bizarrely.
I'm not a sock person.
But listen,
me and Charlie Nick.
In 1982. But we're excited about it. I think you can tell that. We're delighted to be here. We'll be back at the press conference tomorrow to see what's next. But for the next 24 hours, there's going to be so much news and views on Sunsport across all the social media channels and obviously tomorrow's newspaper. We're excited, Bill. The fans will start to be coming here in the next few days, and I'm not sure we'll see them out here right enough, but I think by the time we get to Munich, there's going to be, we're talking maybe over 100,000.
Could be. I mean, even here last night there was a lot of Scottish accents. There were people who have moved out here from Scotland. There was a lot of Scotland kits. There was a lot of Scottish club kits kicking about. So there's a nice feeling here. But I think by the time we get to Munich, it's going to be absolutely bonkers.
Derek McGregor is in Munich for us this week. He's covering the Germans in their preparations, and I'm sure they'll be pretty confident that Germany against Scotland in a major tournament. You'd imagine they've had a bit of criticism in the last few months about up and down performances, but they always come good in tournaments, don't they?
They're a tournament team, and that's what, to be fair, that's what Steve Clarke says. We're a competitive team. We come to our best when we're competing, and that's Germany right down through the years. They can be terrible, and they might even start tournaments slowly, which might not be a bad thing for us. It's very rare that the Germans will start on an absolute high. They build towards quarterfinals and semi-finals and penalty shootouts. So yeah, it couldn't be a tougher game on Friday night. It really couldn't be against the hosts in Munich. But as we say, it's an unknown, but it is so unbelievably exciting.
Yeah. Well, we'll be talking more about the game obviously in the next few days. We're going to be doing this every day, giving our views ahead of the game against Germany on Friday evening. So stick with Sunsport.
Auf Wiedersehen.